You hold my every moment. You calm my raging seas. You walk with me through fire and heal all my disease. I trust in you, Lord, I trust in you, yeah, yeah. I believe you're my healer. I believe you are all I need. I believe you're my portion. I believe there's more than enough for me. Jesus, you're all I need. I said nothing is impossible for you. Nothing is impossible. Nothing is impossible for you. You hold the world in your hands. I believe you're my healer. I believe you are all I need. You're all I need. I believe you're my portion. I believe you're more than enough for me. Jesus, you're all I need. Nothing is impossible for you. Nothing is impossible. Nothing is impossible for you. You hold the world in your hands. Hi friends, welcome back to the channel. I'm ThandiwekaYah. It's a brand new week. I'm excited to be here, excited to share the word that I have for you today. So before I start, just a quick disclaimer. Please remember that not every prophetic word is meant for you. If it is for you, you'll know there'll be a stirring in your spirit, and even so, in that case, please take it to the Lord, pray about it, speak to Him, ask Him to confirm the word, and yeah, take it from there. So let's get into the dream. So this dream, I think I had 2 mornings ago, or yesterday morning, it doesn't matter. I had this dream very recently, and in the dream I was in a place that's called Old Location. The place is actually called that. It's in a city that I grew up in when I was a child, and I know that some of my family still reside in that area, but it's called Old Location, and because I guess there was a new location. I don't know, but the point is that's what it's called. And in this house, the houses there are all very small. It's not a residential area, it's more like a township area. So the house was very small, just the way I know it and remember it. And in this house there was a certain person who lived there, and I remember being in the house with them. I was visiting, and I had parked my car outside, but like across the street from this house. That's a very significant part of the meaning. It has a significant meaning. And I was visiting this person, and I remember looking around and thinking, this furniture doesn't match. So they didn't have like a couch set. It was put together like, okay, I have this couch and I found this chair. So it was very mismatched, and you could tell that, yeah, this was a struggle to get together in terms of provision, right? And I remember just feeling, there was just a strong sense in the dream that there was someone that lived with them, and they had moved and they had taken all their things, and their things were the perfect couch set and all the good furniture that matched and all of that. So they had gone and they'd taken their things, but the way that that person had left, there was contention, there was a rift. It wasn't friendly or amicable. There was a divide. Something happened, and that person left and took all their provision and all their stuff with them. And then I remember my sister driving up to this house and parking right outside of the door, and she had other people with her, and I didn't see the provisions, but I had the sense in the dream that she came with provisions. She came with aid in a way, and that was the end of the dream. So I knew immediately upon waking up that this dream was significant and it had a meaning, but obviously didn't know exactly what it meant at the time. And when I asked the Lord about it, He started to speak to me. So the old location represents the last season. It represents the old season. It represents the wilderness, the time of training, the time of transition for some, I think. And what God was saying is that there have been some of you who were obedient to God's instruction to let go of certain people in your life. People that you really relied upon, people that were really close to you, very, very close. It really felt like close family relationships. And God is saying that you were obedient to His instruction to let that person go, or to at least stand up for your faith in that situation with that person. And because of that, it caused contention. Because of that, there was a rift. There's been a rift between you and that person, or those people. It could be more than one person for some of you. And God is saying that you still went through with it, even though you knew what it would cost you. And for many of you, it has cost you the breadwinner, the person who in your life was the main provider, someone that really supplied provision for you. That's in some cases. And what God is saying is that for some of you, it may actually also have been a spouse, where there has been separation from a spouse as well, because of your stance, because you have heard what the Lord has asked you to do, and you did what He asked you to do in faith, and because of it, it's caused contention. So God is saying that this word is for you. It's for people like that. He recognizes the sacrifice that you have made. He says He sees, He hasn't forgotten, and He knows that you made a huge sacrifice for Him. And He's got some good news for you today, my friend. But before we get into the good news, He was showing me how some of you have tried to fill that gap of what that person took. You're trying to cope. You've come up with various coping mechanisms. And for some of you, you're trying to work extra jobs, work extra hours. You're really trying to fill up that gap that person left in terms of provision, in terms of even just emotional emotional connection. You're trying to find a way to fill that gap, because for some of you, you really relied on that person for relationship, and now they've been taken away from you, and you've found your own coping mechanisms, which aren't really the greatest or the best, because only God is the one who can fill that gap for you. So what the Lord is saying is He will provide for you. He will provide. He will bring the provisions. He will bring people. The main form of provision that He's talking about is through relationship with people. Yes, He will provide financially and in other ways that you need. But in this dream, He was really pointing out how you actually need people also to help you with your healing process. So God is saying that He will make provision. He will bring new people into your life, new friends, maybe even family members that you'd lost touch with. He's sending back to you for this purpose, to fill the gap, to replenish you. Yeah, that was the word that came strongly. He wants to come and replenish you. He knows it's been difficult and you've really struggled, but he's saying he's bringing people to replenish you. And for those of you who have been devastated by separation from your spouses, God is not saying that you won't get back together with your spouse. He says keep praying for your marriage, but while you are in the space where you've separated from them, he's going to heal you. He's going to provide healing for you through others, through the people that he's going to place in your life. And he's saying embrace them, be open to that, because it's part of your healing process. That goes for everyone that this word is for, is that this is part of your healing process, the people he's bringing into your life. So be open to that and be ready to receive, because he's about to shower you with so much love and so much provision. In Psalm 119 verse 76, New Living Translation, it says, "Now let your unfailing love comfort me, just as you promised me, your servant." Lamentations 3 verse 25, NIV. "The Lord is good to those whose hope is in him, to the one who seeks him." So God is saying that keep your hope in him. He will mend your heart. He'll mend your broken heart. He will provide the refreshment that you need to get through this difficult time that you've been going through. In fact, the difficult time is about to come to an end, because now you're going to have support. You're going to have people around you who are going to help you and take care of you and love on you. Isn't that so exciting, my friends? I'm so excited for that. Now, on the other hand, this word is also for people who God is calling to be the support to the people I just mentioned. So he's saying that it's a time for family. It's a time for his family to connect and come together and be united. And as much as there are people who have really lost in terms of relationship and provision, God is saying that he's calling some of you to be that support, to be that provision that he needs, to be, even if it means just being in relationship with someone who just needs relationship, who needs someone to talk to, who needs help in their time of just difficulty. God is saying that he is appointing some of you to be that person. The fact that my car was parked on the other side of the road, away from the house, he's saying that there are some of us, and I'm saying us because I know I'm one of those people, who struggle with these things are of the past, guys, who struggled with connecting before. I've been on a very a strenuous journey on learning how to connect because of whatever childhood trauma happened, but connecting with the Lord has been difficult. Connecting with people has been difficult, like deep connection, not just superficial, friendly, nice type of connection, proper connection. So God has been teaching me that. He's been refining that in me. So God is saying that there are people like me out there who would want to keep their distance. They're there. They will be supportive from a distance. God is saying, no, come closer, get into deep, meaningful relationship, because you're not only just there for that person, but you also still need to continue your healing process of learning to connect, to be close to people, and to be a part of the family and not isolate yourself. The time for isolation is not right now. Now it's a time to connect. It's a time for family. It's a time to support one another and to lift each other up and to encourage one another. I think that's such a beautiful message that the Lord is bringing. It ties in with the word that I put out previously for the unity that the Lord is seeking in his body, in his church. And this word is a confirmation of that as well. So come closer, the Lord says. Come closer to those that he's placing in your life. Allow people in. And obviously don't just allow people in all willy-nilly. You have to be guided by the Lord. And again, I will say the same point that I've said in the last two videos. Get close to the Lord, spend more time with him, get guidance from him and wisdom from him, because then you'll know who to let in and who to keep out, because that's also very important. The devil will send people your way as well, and you don't want to end up in toxic situations. So listen out to what the Lord is saying to you and who he's bringing into your life for the purpose of connection, of being a family, of being supportive, of being supported. It's about reciprocating. It's about some of us went through an intense healing. Actually, in fact, everyone who's been through the wilderness experience and has come out of it has been through that intense healing. And what God is saying, impart what you've learned to others, and use those skills that you have acquired to help others. Some people have actually very special skills that the Lord has equipped them with, specifically for caring for others, specifically for being a support and being in relationship with others. And He's really targeted the people that have been out of connection, haven't been able to connect. He's thrust you ahead of everyone else because you need to be in that position. You need to be in that vulnerable position. You need to be in that place so that it's something that becomes solidified in your life. He started the process. You've been going through it in your healing, and now He's solidifying it by saying, come closer. Don't park on the other side of the street. Come and park right at the door, just like my sister did in the dream. Philippians 2 verse 4, New Living Translation says, don't look out only for your own interests, but take an interest in others too. I love that. Galatians 6 verse 2, NLT as well. Share each other's burdens, and in this way obey the law of Christ. That's a really beautiful scripture, because we're not here for ourselves. It's not just about me receiving my blessing. It's about unity. It's about the family of God coming together. We obey the law of Christ by sharing each other's burdens. Romans 12 verse 10, the Passion Translation. Be devoted to tenderly loving your fellow believers as members of one family. Try to outdo yourselves in respect and honor of one another. If there's anything you ought to outdo yourself in, it's this, my friend, in this season. This is just a season of family, of God's family, of connecting and being unified and supporting one another. Don't push people away because you're not used to it and you're not comfortable. Ask God for guidance. Ask Him to show you who is for you and who isn't for you. And for those who are in need of support, receive the support and the replenishment that the Lord is bringing your way. Friends, that's the word I have for you today. I was really blessed by this word, simply because I know the journey that I've been on, and how even last year God started bringing people into my life, and for the first time I started making friends. Guys, when I say I started making friends, it's been a long journey, because I didn't do that in the past. It wasn't something that I would do at all. Yes, at work, you have people that you're friendly with, but it ended there. There was no deep connection. And to be blessed with people that I'm deeply connected with has just been such a blessing. So for me, it really hits home, because I know what that did for me. So I should be able to do the same for others, because I know how that has healed me, and that has helped me to be more open and to be more vulnerable. I'm still a work in progress. I'm not there yet, guys. It still gets difficult at times, but I'm a lot better off than I was before. So friends, I really pray that this word has blessed you as much as it has blessed me. Pray about it if it's for you. Ask God for guidance. Stay close to Him. This is a time to stay very close to the Lord. That's all I have for you today. Remember that you serve a good, wonderful, loving Father, and you are so special to Him.
There's no shadow